We know what to do because we played a lot of, mobile quarterbacks. We got two of them. We got him and we got Russell Wilson in our division. So, we kind of know how to handle it. He's playing better football than he was last year. So, and he got some good guys around him that's helping him as well. So, we got our hands full, but, we prepared for the challenge and we're ready.
Rams match up very well with Arizona because they can put Jalen Ramsey on DeAndre Hopkins, and they get a great pass rush. So the Rams defense, and they've really done it in like 1 year, it's formidable. I think this is a tough matchup for Arizona.
You have this in your Blazing 5.
I like the Rams. My one favorite, Rams -3. I think they win by a touchdown. And by the way, McVay and the Rams, this system has given Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals trouble for 3 straight years.
I think that the Cardinals are one more year away.
Yes, I think so too.
They have lost 2 in a row since the Hail Murray game.
And he's hurt. Kyler Murray's hurt.
They're 6-5, and they need to stay ahead of teams like the Vikings and the 49ers, which are at 5 and 6. That are all jockeying for that 7 seed. But yeah, I don't like the way that the Cardinals have been playing the last few weeks. I agree with you. I don't think this is a good matchup for them. And I think everyone kind of overreacts week to week with the Rams because the Rams are a very inconsistent, very good team.
Offensively, they can get turnover prone really quickly.
Yes, like there's people talking about benching Jared Goff. So, like, people really overreact to the Rams.
Yeah.
And then they come out and have a great performance, and all of a sudden they're back in the Super Bowl conversation. I don't think that they are a Super Bowl team, but they are still a very good team, and they are a step ahead of the Cardinals. I would take the Rams in this game as well. So 3 of the league's best running backs will be on display when the Titans take on the Browns on Sunday. Very interested in this game. Derrick Henry has proven to be the key to the Titans' offense, and he'll get to watch 2 very talented backs on Cleveland's side of the ball. And Henry praised Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt's talent, saying they're one of the best duos in the game, if not the best. Those guys are ballers. I like this game because I think these 2 teams are very similar in that obviously both of their offenses run through their running game.
Yeah.
I would kind of give the edge to Cleveland's defense, but then I would give the edge to the Titans quarterback and Ryan Tannehill over Baker Mayfield.
Now, Myles Garrett does return, and they're a little banged up on the Titans O-line, which is one of the reasons I think Baker will face less distress than Tannehill. So I think Baker, and I think Tannehill's better, but I think it'll be, when Baker's comfortable with a run game, throws 23 times, this team's 8-0.
Their running games are both great and evenly matched. Like Derrick Henry obviously is the one guy, and they have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, but they're both neck and neck. I mean, Kareem Hunt has 706 rushing yards this year. Nick Chubb has 719, and Derrick Henry's in position to earn his 2nd consecutive rushing title, leading the league with 1,257 yards. So that's the equalizer right there. So it's going to be one of those other factors that you mentioned. But again, like I trust the Titans more just because of Ryan Tannehill, but I'm really interested in this game. And I agree with what you said earlier. I think this is a big game for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's going to play for them next year. But I believe if he struggles this week like he did against the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Raiders, I do think organizationally they will make decisions and they'll say, listen, it ain't working to the level we need it to. So they'll go to their scouting department and say, let's look for, in the round 2, 3, 4, the next guy.
They've had a tremendous season, and Stefanski's clearly the guy. They've put a lot of pieces together. Baker's done an amazing job at managing this offense, which, is what you want. You want to get wins at the end of the day. But if you want to win the big game, you're going to need a guy there that can make those big plays.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to have to see that from Baker. Like, it's not a knock. It's just an assessment on what they are this year.
And they're really talented offensively.
Yeah.
And yet they have no passing game. So, it's time. This is the time.
Yes, you have to step up at one point.
This is not a Darnold situation where we don't feel he has any help. This is lots of help and a really stable new coach.
So finally, Anthony Davis secured a 5-year, $190 million max contract extension to stay with the Lakers. And Jared Dudley is expecting AD to step up his game even more in his 2nd year with the team.
I'm expecting AD to go for the MVP. I'm expecting him to set the tone. We know LeBron, his years played in this league and all the accolades he has, but AD doesn't have some of those accolades. He has the talent. He has the determination. So I'm expecting AD to set the tone early on, even though he might have, there's games he has to miss on back-to-backs. That's okay. But he's 27. He should have been Defensive Player of the Year. He's the future, and he's the now.
It's funny. I felt like last year, it was like a do-over for Anthony Davis. Like, it was the first year, because nobody watched him in New Orleans.
Right.
It was like, watching him, you're like, it was the first year I was like, oh, he lived up to his potential. Like, not that he wasn't a good player, but last year was like, this is what he is, which is a dominant playoff big. And he'd been great, but it was the first time I watched Anthony Davis, and I totally bought into, okay, that's what you can build around.
No, he leveled up, but Anthony Davis is still not a 1. And I don't see that ever developing for him. Like, we were talking to Rick Bucher earlier, and he was talking about how, Kobe develops into being a good leader. Guys can develop into being good leaders. And it's not that Anthony Davis is not a good leader, but you're not going to take over that role ever when LeBron James is on your team.
No. It's just not going to be. It isn't. There are certain players. Magic, an old Magic, still was the Lakers. It doesn't matter. Michael Jordan could be 44. He would be your D Wade.
Yeah.
Was even with LeBron, he was 1A. It was LeBron was the best player, but Wade was a rock-solid franchise driver as well.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen in this situation. Now, when LeBron moves on and Anthony Davis is still there or whatever, we'll see. But the MVP conversation, and look, it's not that Anthony Davis is going to put up numbers, and he should have been Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
But you're going to get cannibalized by LeBron being on your team in the MVP conversation. So will he deserve an MVP or be, talked about in that space? Yes. Will he actually win it? We know how the MVP goes in the NBA. Whatever the narrative is at the beginning of the season, if that person is still healthy by the end, that's who's going to get the MVP. Like, that's just how it goes when it comes to the MVP in the NBA. But I'm with Rick, too. Anthony Davis has to stay healthy.
No, listen, it's not even a criticism. It is a reality.
That's it. Like, that's going to be the key if they're going to return the championship and win it again.
I don't think it's irony that when he played with LeBron, he got healthy. I think LeBron demanded more of him. LeBron's an old guy. LeBron's like, bro, I'm playing, and I'm not feeling great.
They also had some time off, so
that helped a lot. That's a great point.
No travel. There's a lot of factors in this season.
It was an abridged season. That was a good point. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Jason McIntyre, NFL picks next. The holidays are fast approaching, and you're running out of time for gifts. Fight cold with Cozy with Tommy John. They have loungewear, which I wear, pajamas, men's, women's underwear, bras, incredibly soft. That's why I wear it. Even my kids wear it. Tommy John's loungewear. They're doing gift sets for the